Now, you've won 1 million thanks to Rugby AM and Monopoly.
Yeah, thanks to Rugby AM and Monopoly.
Now, next week, £1 million game.
Yep.
Fantastic win against Lee. How good did it feel to win away at Lee after obviously the season that's been and you're in a 2-horse race all the way? Come to Lee last week, everything on the line. The team pulled through after a couple of tricky results like Wakefield away, and you've really come through. How gratifying was that as a coach?
It was good on the back of the 2 games we got out. You know, we got well beaten with St Old Kingston Rovers, and to turn that around and to go to Lee, who finished top of the championship, and deservedly so. To go there and beat them, I thought was it was a great effort from ourselves. So we was well pleased with that, but it's just put us in a position to challenge for something. You know, it's not actually achieved out yet.
Looking at this board, there's plenty of pictures of yourself on here. Robbie and Henry, some great players, and you obviously know what it means to Bradford about competing at the highest level and being a club, putting the club back where they really belong in a lot of the hearts and minds of the fans. Next week, £1 million game. Firstly, do you like the concept? Are you a fan of it?
No.
No?
No.
Think it's too much on one game?
Well, I'm just not here. We can go into too much detail with all this, but you know, you play a season and to win something that's based on your season performances, I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
So I've got a lot of views on that generally, you know, just in Super League as well. You know, I think you play however many games, 20 odd games, and you finish top, then you're the champion because you'll be the most consistent side throughout that year.
It'd be great in a way if Leeds and Huddersfield and all that we're playing off now, this last weekend, now it's fixed up. Anyone could win it out of those top 4, and I suppose in a way that would show the real level of consistency. Whoever wins those games.
That's why you play a league. That's what you play a league for.
Yeah.
And to finish in that, you know. So for us, you'd approach it slightly different. The championship would have been approached slightly different. You want rested players at certain times, and you know, consistently over that year, you finish where you deserve to finish, and then to go into a playoff system, and then you know, even in the playoff system, to finish 5th.
Yeah.
You know, you've played 7 games and you finished 4th. Well, you should be up.
Yeah.
You know, you should be up. So, but we're in a position where we've got ourselves in a position where we've got 1 game.
Yeah.
And potentially that could take us up or just leave us where we are.
Now, looking at that 1 game, does it change your game prep or the mentality for the team and yourself to prepare for a game of such magnitude, or is it just a case of lads buckle down, it's just another game? How do you get your head around that?
It's not another game.
Yeah.
You've got to look past that now.
Yeah.
It is a big game, and we're going to treat it like a big game, but in an enjoyable way rather than a stressful way.
Yeah.
You know, every final I played in with the team, we approached it in that manner. We approached it that we wanted to win the game, but we wanted to do it in an enjoyable way. And you kind of take a little bit of pressure off yourself by doing that. And even coaching in some of the finals, assistant coaching there, we're Tony in the Challenge Cup final, and Brian Mack in certainly in the grand finals that we played in, and how we was maybe inside it was knotted up and nervous as you know, as much as anybody, but you know, that didn't come out. We're quite relaxed leading up to that, and I thought I was pretty impressed with that. You know, one of the things I've been really impressed with how he approaches the finals. He's done it in the same manner as he used to do as a player, quite relaxed in his approach, and I think that certainly has an effect on your team as well.
The likelihood is you're probably going away to Wakefield.
Yep.
With them playing Sheffield this week. Didn't have a great trip there recently.
Yeah.
How do you turn that around? Is that just a we owe him one kind of thing, or that game means nothing now, or is that?
It doesn't. No, it does. It means something because we approached that game in quite a confident manner.
Yeah.
But we're going to focus on a game that was played probably. God, what was the year? Would it have been now? 1989.
What's game's that?
Hunslet went to Wakefield in the pre-season cup and we won.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to show them some old footage of that.
Did you play in that game?
I did. Yeah. One a great Hunslet side, 1 or 2 great players in that side. So. No, it's a really good place to go and play rugby. You know, one of the old type stadiums. And like I say, you know, we're going to talk about the game that we played there a few weeks ago because I think it's important to do that. And we addressed it straight away after the game and what we thought had happened and why it happened. But we're just going to reinforce that, and again, not to put pressure on them, but just to, you know, hopefully see some of the good stuff that did come out of that game, as well as some pretty average stuff.
As a club, there's been a huge turnaround under yourself and Mark Green. What would it mean for the club to win this game and get back to Super League?
They'll get back there one day,
Yeah.
whether it's this year, next year, and whoever's leading that charge as well. But you know, for a club to be so dominant in the competition and command such big crowds, to go what they've gone through over the last few years, for a bloke like Mark Green and Steve Ferris who've come into the club and stabilised it, it'd be nice for them to have that opportunity again sooner rather than later. But you know, the ball's in. Well, it'll be the players' court on